Hey ladies and gents, and welcome back. I really hope that this first week of the new year has been a good one for each and every one of you. And again, I hope this whole year will be a very blessed and great year to come. Okay, what are we doing today? We have this pair of JM Weston shoes that were sent to us by a gentleman. Now, JM Weston, very good brand, very high quality brand. And he recently took this pair of shoes to another shoe cobbler somewhere to have them resoled, new heels put on, and this is kind of what they look like. You know, not the best job in the world. They could have definitely been done better, a little more detail. You know, it just isn't quite polished. So he wasn't quite pleased with the job. He emailed us and said, hey, could I send them to you guys? You guys take a look, see what you could do. We said, absolutely. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to tackle this pair of shoes. It should be a really easy job. Nothing major, but we're going to, get rid of the half soles that were put on, just make these shoes look a lot better. But quick reminder, before we go out to the shop and start doing that, if you guys have not seen our past couple of videos, just a quick reminder to you guys in case you're like, what in the world is wrong with your voice? Man, if it sounds nasally at all, which it does to me, just a quick reminder, I did have sinus surgery about a month ago. So I feel like I'm nasally and I sound nasally to myself. I don't know how I sound to you guys. So I just ask that you kind of keep that in mind and bear with me. Okay, let's get out to the shop and let's tackle this pair of shoes. Okay guys, so right out of the gates, like I said, this is a really good pair of shoes, but the work on here just wasn't stellar. And Heath and I are not the type of guys that just like to go after other people within the trade. You've got some mechanics that are better mechanics than other mechanics. Same with, plumbing, electricians, whatever. And the same thing goes with shoe cobblers. Work like this, sometimes it can just be really disappointing, particularly to the customer. So I'll show you just a couple of things on here that kind of stuck out to me, and then we'll start breaking down this shoe. Okay, so one of the first things that jumped out to me is this heel block is really, really rough. The sanding job just wasn't done really well on it. Another thing is when they went over to stain it, they also got the stain all over the black rubber heel pad. And, to really have that nice finish, you want to make sure you don't do that. You want to have two different, colors there. You want to have black and then the brown or whatever color you choose. The other thing that they did, if this gentleman paid for half soles, they didn't remove the original part of the original sole. Generally what you'll do is you'll cut the first, the front half of the original sole, and you'll kind of blend this in together. Instead, and I see this done quite often, the previous shoe cobbler just took a half sole, he glued it on top of the other sole. So now you can see how it starts out real thin here and then it balloons up and makes a really thick sole. I'm not a big fan of that. And also, when they dyed the shoe, it's really rough along here. He just didn't do a good job sanding. And then again, when he dyed it, I guess if you're going to wear the shoe, it doesn't matter. But, if it were my shoe, again, you want to do a great job. And, this stain job was not the best. So again, it's just little things like that I think could be done better. And I know if it were me or a lot of you guys out there, it's kind of a disappointment. But let's get this taken off and let's go on. All right, what I'm putting on here is just glue thinner because I guarantee you this half sole was probably concreted on here. And that's just going to loosen that glue up so I can get it off a little better. Okay guys, so I have that half sole off, and this is basically what the guy did. This is the original sole, and he sanded this down just enough to where he could put the original or the half sole on. But what you're ideally supposed to do if you're going to do a half sole is you cut the sole right about here and you slope that down, and then this part of the sole you take off, so that when you put the new half sole on, it lays down and all of this should be flush. And then what you want to do is remove all of these old stitches, trench it out, and restitch it back so that basically it all blends and the half sole blends in with the original back half, and it looks like a nice resole. What this guy did, and what you see a lot, he didn't want to take out the old stitches, and he didn't want to restitch it because of time. And I see so many shoe cobblers that will do this. They'll just glue it back on there, and it takes about a quarter of the amount of time it would if you did it correctly. So that's why he did this. It was just a matter of getting the job done, do it quickly, get the shoe turned around and back to the customer. And there were a lot more steps that they could have done that they didn't. So just kind of wanted to point that out. All right, these are original stacked leather blocks. I'm going to go ahead and take these off because I would like to try to reuse them. They're in good shape. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm at least going to take them off, set them aside, and possibly reuse these later on. All right, so JM Weston, at least on these, has a wooden shank. Obviously it's cracked, so we're going to have to replace that. And then it's kind of interesting. I guess that's some type of cork. Yeah, it looks like cork. It just has a different texture and look to it than most of the other shoes I've seen. Okay guys, before we put the hot cork into these shoes, I do want to ask you guys a question because I know that the majority of our audience is male and this really affects you guys. How many of you guys are experiencing any type of hair loss or baldness? Guys, did you realize that 2 out of every 3 men will begin losing their hair by the age of 35? And trust me, I know, because like I've said before, I have a lot of buddies who have already been experiencing hair loss for years now. Well, fortunately, that is where Keeps comes into play. Keeps is a subscription service that helps men keep their hair. And the great thing about Keeps, guys, is all of their treatment plans are doctor recommended treatments that are delivered directly to your door each month. So there's no more having to go into the doctor's office, make an appointment, be seen, having to go to the pharmacy after that and get your prescription. No, it takes all of the worry out of that. And again, guys, it comes directly to you. And guys, another great thing about Keeps is their 24/7 support. So let's say you have questions about what products you need to be using. Why is this, should I be using this treatment versus this treatment? They have medical advisors and specialists on hand that can take your call and help you out. Guys, I've told you before, if you're balding or you're beginning to lose your hair, definitely go check out Keeps. You have nothing to lose. Again, they are super easy, they're affordable, and it is a subscription-based business that comes directly to your door every month. Guys, hair loss stops with Keeps. And to get a special offer on all Keeps treatments, go to keeps.com/Trent or check out the special link down below in the description box. Again, guys, that is keeps.com/Trent. Okay guys, so we're about to put the hot cork in here. As you can see, I've taken it all out. These came with wooden shanks in case you didn't see that a second ago. The only problem with wooden shanks is they crack very easily, just as those had. So we put metal shanks in there. And like I said, let's throw some hot cork in here and then we'll put the soles on. Okay guys, so I went ahead and put the heel blocks on. I know I didn't show the whole step-by-step like I do in some videos, but I went ahead just save time and put these on. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and put some nails down through the inside, and then we'll put the top lifts on and they'll just about be ready. All right, I'm putting a little burnishing wax along the edges of these heel blocks and the edges of these soles. And then after this dries, we'll get it buffed off and add the finishing touches to this shoe. So we are done resoling these shoes. The last thing that I want to do is there's some spots on here where it almost looks like somebody used like that Insta Shine, where you can just rub over your shoe with a sponge and it brings out a really quick luster. And that stuff, I hate it. I think it's junk and I don't ever recommend it. But it's starting to flake off in certain areas, like up here on the toe. So what I want to do is, strip all of that off, recondition the shoes, put some more color back into the shoe, and then we'll call it a day. So that's what we're going to do now. All right, so you can see all I did was put that stuff on here, took it over the toe, and now it took all of that stuff off and it took it back down to its original color on the toe. And now those pores are opened up and it's going to allow a lot more conditioner to get in there, as well as the new shoe cream and the color pigment. So we're going to make this look a lot better. But like I said, you can see that it just took that, that crappy stuff right off of here. All right, ladies and gents, we're back. We've wrapped up this pair of shoes and I'll show you the final product. But before I do, as always, just a couple of quick reminders. One, if you're not following us on Instagram, then definitely check us out over there. It's at Potter & Sons. We post a lot more content over there throughout the week and you might enjoy it. Also, if you're looking for any types of shoe care products or for your shoes, your boots, whatever, check us out at potterandsons.com down below. We carry a plethora of shoe care products, and by you shopping on our website, it helps our business out and we can keep bringing this content to you guys out there. All right, now let's get into these shoes. As a quick reminder, these were sent to us from a customer that watches the channel, and he had taken these to another local shoe cobbler who did the previous work. And I do want to stress one thing. I try not to talk bad about other people in the business. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. So just a pro tip to you guys out there: when you take your shoes to a shoe cobbler, don't always expect, well, I saw Trenton and Heath's channel and they do this, or I saw, such and such's channel and they do this. You have to ask that shoe cobbler what type of things they do. Do you stitch it? Do you trench it? Hey, would you be able to add tacks along the back of my top lifts? All of that is information or questions that you need to be asking your shoe cobbler. So definitely don't assume that just because we do it, other guys are going to do it. So just keep that in mind when you take your shoes. Okay, on this pair of shoes, again, the gentleman just put half soles on there. He just flat out just glued them on top, didn't stitch them on, and then, the heels or the edge of the heel blocks, the edges of the sole, just weren't done really, really well. They could have been sanded down a little bit better and inked a little bit better. So anyway, so that's what we did. We just, the gentleman wanted to just get rid of the half soles. Let's just go all full sole, let's do it right. So we removed all of that. The welts were in good shape. I don't think they had ever been resoled. So the original holes that were in that welt, or should I say the holes that were in that welt, were probably the original. So we tried to line up our stitching machine as good as possible so that we were trying to use those original holes as not to punch additional holes in there. We put on new JR soles, trenched them out, stitched them, put on the original heel blocks, which was nice. Stacked leather on this pair of shoes, so we did that. Then we put on new top lifts, put a few decorative nails in there or tacks, and just tried to strip down whatever finish was on the uppers, and then just condition, polished, and put a little wax on the toes and heels, and that's about it. I mean, we didn't, not a major makeover on the uppers, and really not a major makeover on the shoe as a whole. We weren't trying to go wild and crazy with this pair. We just wanted to show you guys, kind of the way it's supposed to be done correctly, and hopefully this video helped. Okay, again, as always, we really appreciate you watching and joining us today. We hope that you'll share this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hopefully you'll just continue to watch us throughout the days and weeks to come. So until next time, y'all have a good one.